particle board.
I got wood here.
Board hates triangle board. Okay.
IKEA has a desk that isn't from IKEA.
I think mine's from Staples, but you know.
Mine is a
Big
desk that got
difference.
sent to me in the mail.
Yeah, I have the
Look at
uplift.
you, fancy mail desk.
I have the uplift desk.
No, this is a story
Which
about
means-
how when
Wait for it. Here I go.
Oh no, he's going. Nope, that's bad.
I mean, I can also do this.
Yeah, I can do this.
I can do that,
I'm
but
not
it's a lot
going to.
harder for
Everybody.
me to lift the whole computer.
Yeah. I was
Flip
saying,
that table down.
this desk came from I was a speaker at Macworld Expo one year, and I had the bag where they give you a bunch of coupons for things, and there's just this one piece of paper in there. It's like, oh, you can here's a coupon for a free desk, and I think about 50 to 60% of the people who got that bag either lost it because it was just a piece of paper in a bag with a bunch of random gewgaws and software CDs and stuff, or like me, were like, they wouldn't really give me a whole free desk, right? And I was like, oh, I'll try this. And then it got delivered to the wrong house. It got delivered the next street over to our number. And a person, I'd forgotten about it. And then a person showed up at the door, was like, there's a package that's, for you, but it weighs about 100 pounds. So I'm not going to bring it over. So it's drive my car around the street. It's I think that's that desk that they supposedly gave me. And I've been using it for many, many years since.
No, my parents live on a place that starts with a C. That's the name of the street, and there's an 18. But that street is off of another street, which also starts with a C, which also has a number 18. And the number of times that something has been delivered, especially recently, and it's gone to the wrong street. And
Well, let me tell you, the next street over from us is named Shell. And so they see Snell in 59 and they deliver it to
Yeah.
Shell.
Yeah,
I've gotten to know those people.
Let me tell you about
They're nice.
maintaining two addresses which are across the street from each other. So sometimes now the mail for the new house just gets delivered here, which is convenient but also wrong.
It's rough having two houses, Dan.
Yeah.
So you don't live at the new house yet?
No,
Ah.
it's just a
So
place
you get
where,
mail at the new house?
yeah, I mean we own it, so
Is this like a house each deal?
yes, separate houses,
as you do.
It
been
helps
married
keep
a year.
Yep, keeps your marriage strong. That's
Well,
my understanding.
I was talking to Dan the other day and he's like, oh yeah. And then we were like, oh no, it's so crowded in here. What are we going to do? Hey, we have another house. All right. Well,
Overflow house.
it's nice. Bonus house. Yeah.
And here I was thinking that having a second bedroom, aka office studio, was glamorous and fancy.
I don't have that, so we have a room with a bird in it. Is that? I guess that counts.
Technically, you
Bird
guys
room.
have two bedrooms.
Yeah, there's a bird in that room.
One is a bird room.
You missed the typo. It was bird room, not bedroom.
Yeah. Also, I think
It was
legally
just listed as
doesn't meet,
BR.
yeah, I think legally it doesn't meet the requirements for a bedroom. So
I mean, because it got a bird.
yeah.
in it.
yeah, but
That's highly illegal.
I think it's too small to meet the legal definition of a bedroom. But anyway,
There's no size requirements, are there? Unless there's no closet. That's the issue.
there's no closet in my bedroom. Which
Okay,
is
then
much
that's
bigger
not a
than that.
bedroom.
The
Yes.
other one has a
Hate to
has
tell
a
you, you're
closet,
not sleeping in a bedroom.
but it has one of the closets that's literally 1 foot deep.
Yeah,
that
that's fine.
Almost fits a clothes hanger. So New England.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
had rooms like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine was telling me about his kitchen recently, and apparently the cupboards in the kitchen are not deep enough to fit plates. I was
They're
just like, okay.
show cupboards.
Put them on the side. Bet it'll fit in there.
I'm not sure they're tall enough either, like the shelf.
Wedge
positioning, whereas
them
I'm-
side.
They're just teacup cupboards. They're not. Should we do the thing?
Sure.
Let's
maybe.
do the thing.
We're live, right? Everyone's still
Oh yeah, everyone
recording
heard all
the thing?
about our bedroom chat, our bird room chat, our
All
closet
right.
chat.
Yeah, there's a bird next door, people. Get used to it. Embrace the bird.
I mean,
Don't embrace the bird.
not physically.
Yeah, the bird won't like that. It likes its personal
It used
space.
to squawk at me all the time just because I wore a hat.
Yeah, it does not. You're also very tall, Dan, so you look like you
for
have a kind
two.
of predatorial silhouette.
Also,
And you would wear a
going out
hat.
with a bird like this. That was a bad idea.
I don't know that. Can birds really tell?
I think the
the hat
bigger
looks
it
like a
is,
beak.
it doesn't.
Like, I think that's
yeah,
the
it doesn't
problem.
like you. It has encountered multiple people with hats, and I think it makes your head look a lot bigger.
And like a
So
bird.
So you see
and
him
like a big
and
scary
extra
bird.
threatening. So it does
Yeah.
not like
I also
that.
had
Maybe it
taped
mistook him for a
daggers.
T-Rex.
I had tipped daggers to the brim of the hat with my initials on them, just to be clear.
I was like, Dan
Very
was yelling at the
threatening.
bird. Doesn't like that. Yeah.
Come at me, bird!
Anyway, enough about Dan harassing animals. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons. So, Dan, you're already. The stream is live. Things are recording. Players, you're all
It seems to
recording.
be.
Everyone's
Fingers
good.
crossed.
I did not stop the recording.
Excellent.
Good.
Neither did I.
Never.
We are at 40 minutes past the hour, which I think is what Jason's. Yep, Jason's typing that. Excellent. That's good because I never know when to end the thing.
I know.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, your dungeon master. Today we are continuing our mini adventures. We are continuing the mini adventure Gloom set in the town of White Sparrow. Allow me to introduce our players. They will introduce their characters, and then I'll remind you of the action so far. First up, it's Rosemary Orchard. Hi, Rosemary.
Hello. I'm playing Denala, the High Elf Bard, who is having fun. And
Excellent.
not dead.
Not dead indeed. Next up, it's one Jason Snell.
Hi, Tony. I am playing Nis. She is a lizard folk sorcerer and the sister of Biz, who we met in the Flesh Eaters. So check back and listen to that one to find out what lizard folk think of sorcery.
Yeah. Next up, it's James Thompson.
I'm playing Nyasa Nightweaver, who is a high elf not assassin, who merely knows a suspicious amount about dagger engraving.
Mm. And last but not least, it's Jess Viator.
Hi, I'm playing Briar Orhim, who is a half elf fighter.
Excellent. And of course, helping me out, my trusty assistant, Little Dan Morin. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Tony. I noticed that 3 out of our 4 players this week have names that begin with J. So I've changed the rest of our names. So you are now Joni, I'm Jan, and that's Joe's Mary. So this is going great.
You know what? I feel like in general, like I don't love each of those, but I feel like
Together?
you know, in aggregate, it's an upgrade. So yeah. So all right, we'll get on that. Thank you, Dan.
You're quite
That's some
welcome.
quality Alex level banter there.
You're almost in a white room there, so that works for you, Tony.
Yeah.
Referencing
All right. What has been happening in our adventure known as Gloom? Well, our adventurers have stopped an attempted assassination on Brinley Ottershot, the Chamberlain to the White Sparrow family. His bodyguards were murdered brutally in the street by several hired killers. You have escorted the badly injured Chamberlain back to White Sparrow Manor. You've had a chance to rest up, and you have conversed with one Lord Marlon White Sparrow, who's told you about a threatening note he has received, where someone is demanding that his nephew be left alone at the White Gnarled Tree, or we will kill 5 of your servants each week. So strange things are afoot here in the town of White Sparrow. Things maybe not as strange as a giant hand, but at least new things. And it is a question of what will you need to do to solve this mystery. And unfortunately, by escorting the Chamberlain, it's possible that you have made yourself targets as well of these assassins who seek to settle some kind of score with the White Sparrow family. We join our adventurers as they are still seated around the hearth in the foyer of the White Sparrow Manor. They've taken some time to heal. Some tea and biscuits have been served. Lord Marlon White Sparrow is there. There's seems like a good number of guards in place around White Sparrow Manor to keep things under protection. Lord Brinley Ottershot has been taken away to rest, but so you can figure out your next moves.
Well, I would like to say, again, I appreciate you helping my good friend Ridley, and it seems that you are more than capable as a band of adventurers, and perhaps we could come to some sort of agreement. I'm prepared to offer you some money if you might be able to find this Gloom character and put an end to them so that I can let my nephew resume his life in safety. Is that something that you might be interested in?
I think I have some random curiosity in finding this Gloom fellow or lady. I I would be very interested in taking on this mission. I don't know about these other people because we've only just met.
Well, you've acquitted yourselves well in the time that you were together, it seems.
I would also be sufficiently curious enough to continue investigating. And these people all seem upstanding folk, as we all jumped in to try and help out. So I would be willing to continue on with these lovely people.
Yes, my people's school for sorcery requires funds.
And I'm in. I'm just looking for something to do, and this seems like fun.
Well, excellent. I don't know about fun per se. I mean, this is obviously a deadly serious matter that we should all take extremely seriously, but I'm glad you're having fun. I am prepared to offer you 100 gold pieces each if you are willing to take this on.
Deal.
Done.
You strike a hard bargain, friends.
Will you also agree to promote my school of sorcery among the people of White Sparrow and endorse it if anyone asks?
I would be pleased to if you would send some materials. I do all of my charitable work in writing. I don't do things over the phone. No.
So in her bag, Nis removes one of the many flyers that she is going to distribute around White Sparrow, because her entire goal here is to find more students for the brand new in the Skull Chamber Fortress School of Sorcery that's put on by Nis and her brother Biz. So she hands him one.
Well,
Nis, can you tell us a little bit about what this flyer looks like in case anyone wants to do fan art of it?
It is a picture of a lizard hand with like a glowy magical fire coming out of it. And it says, learn the arts of sorcery, expert teaching, low rates.
It says
lizard
rats.
Folk, lizard folk staff, but not in the swamp. Lovely new location in the now under new management Skull Fortress. It's basically what it says.
Is it handwritten? Is that what it like in like hand drawn?
No. Nis has gotten this is all part of the PR campaign. So Nis has
you've got a level 4 graphic designer working
Nis's initial investment to go to a town, perhaps even the White Sparrow print shop, but maybe not. Maybe it's a different town, and get these printed up so that she can distribute them, because the whole idea here is to uplift not just the lizard folk but the other people of this area and teach them the ways of sorcery to protect themselves.
Glossy or matte finish on these?
It's it's just a rough hewn sort of hempen kind of paper.
Okay, organic. It would dissolve in the swamp if need be. Yeah.
Nyasa will politely take one of your leaflets
and very
look at it.
Environmentally friendly, which I appreciate in that way. Well, I will certainly review this material, and when you come back to collect your reward, perhaps we can discuss some sort of further arrangement.
Very well.
So, adventurers, you have a variety of places you could go next, which is always a problem because you spend time fighting about it. But it seems like you have this open question of who is Gloom, where are they, and what can you do to stop them? I'm not sure where you will go next in White Sparrow, but there's things to be learned, I think. You don't need to leave White Sparrow Manor immediately, but we'll say that Lord Marlin kind of withdraws, gives you time to sit here, warm up around the fire, and exchange.
Before he leaves, I leave him with one last word of warning, which is, it is only Wednesday, and they have only killed 4 of your men. Be careful. One more will be due.
I see you teach math at this school of sorcery of yours.
We are very educated. It is a misunderstanding about the lizard folk just because many of us live in the swamp.
Math is a prerequisite for sorcery.
Before he leaves, can we attempt some persuasion as to whether we can speak to his nephew, who seems tied up in all of this?
What are you implying? I have not tied up my nephew.
Aha.
Commenting on precisely what you do at home.
Persuasion check. I am quite a charismatic lady who has he has not seen me stab many people. I'm wearing this lovely dress.
I assume you can try.
Well, okay, let's see. I have rolled a 22.
Wow.
Well, I think Lord Marlin is a bit flustered, but I think he is very insistent. It is, he has just met you, and he is very in fear for the safety of his.
I realize you are only
nephew.
trying to help, but I'm afraid I must be adamant that nobody sees Pennon, that he remain as safe as possible. As you yourselves have just pointed out, the day is not over yet, and Gloom may strike again.
Well, he's not one of your employees, so he should be fine.
I don't think assassins respect technicalities such as that.
Well, I mean,
I might be mistaken.
I
perhaps
have
you know more about
information on
assassins than I do.
No, I think you probably know way more than a humble woman as myself.
I would like to just ask quickly before he withdraws if there were any strange events leading up towards this that stick in his memory or memory.
Lord Marlin?
I can be persuasive if necessary.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not?
Okay, I rolled 23.
Okay. Lord Marlin, anything strange happened recently in White Sparrow?
Apart from the previous 9 adventures.
Certainly there have been any number of strange happenings around White Sparrow, but recently I can't think of anything that would cause quite this level of excitement. Certainly not that would drive people to kill. That seems far in excess of anything that's happened around the town recently.
Anything strange happening at all? People going missing or...
I mean, there are
acting strangely.
Dozens of adventurers in and out of the town all the time. I do not keep track of all of them, I must sure, but some of them probably have not returned. It is a dangerous world out there.
Lord Marlin may not be the most useful source of information on the comings and goings in the town, since he lives up in the manor and the hill, and he's kind of checked out people.
Has your nephew been in any kind of trouble or anything? Any known
never Pennon
associates?
Is completely a well-behaved young man. He is of the highest upstanding moral character.
What do I need to roll for this?
That is insight, friends.
With him whatsoever.
I'd like to help with the insight.
All right, roll with advantage.
I've rolled a 16. So
with advantage?
That was with advantage.
I will tell you with a 16, he seems somewhat disingenuous.
He's a
Shocking.
perfect angel.
A golden child.
But,
Right.
perhaps he is just very proud of his only heir and a little bit, concerned for his health and well-being and reputation.
Does he have any friends around the area?
I think Pennon is loved by all.
Yes, he is.
Special friends?
I do not pry into him. I respect his privacy as a young man. He is free to associate with whomever he so chooses. And I must say, I am very busy with the upkeep of the town and all of the administration. And I don't know that I have, personal knowledge of who his compatriots might be.
Where does he spend his free time?
Oh, hither and thither and yon and roams the fields, quite an outdoorsman, loves the city and the town, and he can be found equally climbing over a rock or helping out in the village.
Neither a borrower nor a lender be.
Right. I think we should go to the pub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well,
Agreed.
I'm glad that we can come to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement now. I must be off. I have many important duties to attend to. If you need anything at all, well, feel free to send a message, and we will get back to you in 2 to 3 business days.
And Lord Marlin makes his way out of the foyer into the kitchen, where he seems to be eating biscuits just around the corner.
I would like to quickly confer with my fellow adventurers.
Okay.
I believe we are on a full expense account now. Was that everybody's understanding for the pub?
At the very least, 100 gold pieces to each of you is a lot of money to a level 2 character, especially in terms of, like 1 gold piece would pay for a pretty good, day of food and shelter.
We
so.
did loot those corpses. I mean,
Oh yes, and you took
Yes.
what did you take from them?
we all got a
45
ruby
gold pieces and a
45
times
gold
3.
pieces.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
I think-
45 is ancient evil elven gold, but it still spends.
Accepted everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's made of gold. That's the key thing. So
I think we should hold on to the rubies in case we need to pretend to be assassins.
Right.
Mm.
Pretend.
Yeah.
Pretend.
Well,
All right.
Well, I would also like to inform my fellow adventurers I have a very handy skill where I can disguise myself as somebody else and appear to be them. And therefore,
someone
this
you need
may
to be
useful.
someone you've seen, right?
Yes, it has to be somebody I've seen, but this may be useful later, especially in conjunction with the rubies.
Yeah, you've seen 3 would-be assassins. You've seen Brimley Ottershot. You've seen Lord Marlin. You've seen all your friends. If you need to be two Denalas, well, no, I guess you're already yourself.
Yes.
So yeah.
So
At least I hope I am.
Nis is going to advise everybody that since we foiled this, that on our way back to town and to the pub, we should all be on the lookout in case more assassins come, because we may have identified ourselves. So I just want to have that extra layer of perception of our surroundings, because I suspect it feels very much to Nis that there is some force at work here that we have foiled their plan, and they are watching because they seem to be very focused on this family in this town.
We could all put on sort of hats or something as we go down to the pub.
That's right.
In some.
It's not them. Those guys have hats.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Those guys before hatless.
I do have a disguise kit as well, so I'm sure that we've got a lot of hats in there.
All right. I'm just going to fashion a piece of hair as a mustache for now.
Okay, excellent.
We all have sort of comedy mustaches.
I'm a lizard.
Yeah. So some of you are slightly in disguise. The rest of you are paranoid as all get out and watching for attacks from all angles. I
couldn't have found a more of a crack team to investigate this mystery.
Love it. We'll assume that it would be hard to sneak up on you unless you become somehow, say, inebriated or otherwise altered state. So to the tavern, I believe, is where you wanted to go.
Yes.
The source of all knowledge and quests.
Yes. Well, in White Sparrow, there is but one tavern built in the shadow of the hand. The Ever Shady Tavern is the only place to go in town. It's probably anyone who's been in White Sparrow for more than a few hours has been there at some point. It's a fine place to rest and relax. It's sometimes home to other adventurers or various townsfolk or people who are in town that day for business. So it's not uncommon to see townsfolk, maybe some farmers, maybe even an occasional miner passing through, and you may be already on speaking terms with Amanda Jess, the proprietor of the Ever Shady Tavern. You make your way there and see the usual people that would be hanging out in a shady, dark, somewhat smoky tavern at midday.
I think we should all get a booth together and have a bit of a chat, have a drink.
And so you do.
I feel I have something that I need to get off my chest with the other adventurers.
I'm not an assassin.
Do tell.
So I may have been slightly disingenuous, and I may have previously worked in the business of giving people unexpected life-changing opportunities. But I've put all that behind me a long time ago. But I may bring some knowledge, shall we say, to this adventure. This mention of Gloom is fascinating, because Gloom, if they were even really a person, they operated so long ago that it seems wildly improbable that it would be them back again. So if it is them, what has brought them back out of what apparent retirement?
How long ago did they operate? 100 years?
It was decades, 20, 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Is it possible that Gloom is a cult rather than a single person?
It was always ascribed to one person, but it may have been a title that was handed down, sorry, I went off on Princess Bride.
Dread Pirate Gloom!
Dread Pirate Roberts!
So, it's not really known. But this, it could be an urban legend completely.
Except for the dagger with the G in the hilt.
Well, anyone could have daggers with, their initials on them.
Right. Or they could
Have
be
you ever
using the
seen-
fear of gloom.
Yeah. Have you ever seen this kind of dagger before or heard it spoken in regards to the legend?
I would have to have a closer look at it and probably roll a dice. I can do that.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, he didn't take the letter or the dagger back when we borrowed them. So
He didn't seem super sentimentally attached to them.
I mean, I'm adding that one to my collection, really.
All right.
awesome.
That's like memorabilia.
Souvenir.
Yeah. Do you know how much these go for on the open market?
At least, what, half a gold piece?
Hey.
On eBay, which is short for Elven Bay.
Which is a lovely town.
Yeah, the Elven
The bargain area. Yawn.
Yeah, I was like, it gets harder at the end there.
Yard. There we go.
I hope we
Elven
get to-
bargain area yard.
I hope we get to visit Elven Bay in the next adventure in this series.
So, NASA, were you gonna roll something?
Yes.
History?
What history? I
History,
guess.
Investigation, perception. You might learn different things from different things.
Let's see what looks good. I'll roll history.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe I had advantage in assassiny things, so I'll roll that again.
Yeah.
And that's a lot better. That's a 17.
All right. Well, you're studying this dagger. It does seem to be a weighted throwing dagger. It's very fine craftsmanship. You think it actually is probably worth a decent amount to anybody. And it does seem to like it is rather old. It's perhaps somewhere on the spectrum from old to ancient. So if somebody is impersonating a Gloom, they're certainly not sparing any expense in attempting to do so.
Well, I shall inform my new colleagues of this, and that this is looking ever more interesting.
Is there anything that we might learn from looking at this with, say, an Arcana look, which I'm guessing I'm not particularly skilled at, but Nis might be able to check it out for magical properties?
Can't hurt.
I can do that.
I take it back out of the pocket that I've put it into.
Yeah.
Alas, only an 11.
Nis, you feel it seems like anything above a 10 is usually going to be a success unless you're doing something really hard. So when you're trying to study something, I'll give you something for above a 10. It's just, the higher it is, the more in-depth knowledge. I'm going to say with a 10, doesn't seem like the dagger or the note has any magical properties to them.
I'll put it back in my pocket.
I think we should ask about. We can ask about Gloom, but I also want to ask about the nephew.
Who do you want to ask? You're in a tavern. It's full of
The
white
person
star
at the
folk.
bar.
I'm going
I
to
would
start.
start-
Yeah, I want to start with the person at the bar and ask them about if they know anything about the nephew, because we've heard that there's a threat on his life, and also I'm going to offer my flyer and ask it to be posted because we need more students at the School of Sorcery.
That persuasion check.
So you make your way up to the bar, and as I mentioned, is her name Amanda Jess? Is that the name? I gotta get my NPC names correct. Yeah, Amanda Jess. It's like a double first name. She's the owner and operator of the tavern. So she's there, pouring drinks, wiping down. Give me a second here.
Wiping
Definitely
down the
not.
bar, I hope.
Yep, wiping down the bar. Definitely not sending Dan a message.
Wiping down fingerprints on the bar that were, definitely going to cause problems.
So you and you know I'm going to say this investigations is a new role for some of you. It may be advantageous for you to go one at a time and not for all four of you to crowd up and be like, hey, you, let me ask some questions. So Nis, you've got a plan. Could you let's act it out. What's that going to sound like?
Okay. Hello. I've been in here before about my sorcery school, but we just came from Lord White Sparrow's house, and we prevented the Chamberlain's assassination earlier today. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Great. What do you want? You want a drink?
I'm still finishing this one, thank you. But I do have a question about it. We think that maybe, in addition to the Chamberlain, the nephew of Lord White Sparrow is being targeted. Do you know the nephew?
That's Peter Pie, no Pop, Piper, no Pot, Pennon?
Parker?
Pennon, I think? He's
yes.
That is the name. Yeah, that guy. He is I mean, he's fine. He's nice, I suppose. He's the Lord's nephew.
Does he have? It does not matter to me if he is nice or not, but I would like to know if he has any known associates. I am concerned that he is involved in something dangerous.
Complex. Sure. I mean, yeah, I've seen him in here a couple times.
Just because we live in a swamp does not mean we do not understand complexity, sir. Ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I get that a lot.
But complexity, you got that nailed. Yeah, he's trying.
Lizard folk do not express our gender in the way that you do. It's very confusing to us.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, he's been in here a couple times. He's a little, we're not supposed to serve him. He's kind of on the young side, but he keeps trying to sneak in. He and his buddy. He does have a buddy. I had to kick them both out a few times. They cause trouble. They're just, they're kids. They're up to kid mischief.
Very well. Kid mischief is common. What is this buddy's name?
Oh,
Is it Kid Mischief?
No. He's the local DJ, which is a
dungeon
jockey. Sure. Rides horses in a dungeon. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Very dangerous.
Yep. Don't do that. It's dangerous.
I do not approve of this.
It's not. It's outlawed.
I see
places.
that they do indeed get into trouble. Yes,
Indeed,
that's very much troubling.
But no, his friend, his name
is his name DJ, or is that his title?
His name is Iskander is Ian Vanderwent. I think that's his name. Ian Vanderwent. Yes. He's. I'm sure you know the Vanderwents. They are a very famous local family. They're very well known. They're very well respected. But I have to say, just between you and me, just between you and me.
Yes, it is a secret.
They cause a lot of trouble. They're just they're brats. They are just rich, entitled kids. They think they can get away with all this stuff if it's sneaking into the pub or it's painting a cow purple. They can just feel like they can do anything and have no repercussions whatsoever. I just don't care for it.
We have such troublesome behavior such as this in the swamp as well. I feel for you. Are there any of perhaps the Vanderwent family in the establishment now, or someone who would know them?
I mean, I could tell you their house is right in the.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not far. It's pretty hard to miss. It's a pretty prominent house. It's just off the main square. Most people know. You just go around the corner, take a left. So you can't miss it.
Very well. Thank you. I will have another now. Thank you for your service and your information.
Oh, sure. There you go.
All right.
I would like to have been looking around during this conversation to see whether or not anybody was paying attention, acting suspiciously, looking particularly curious as to the conversation that was taking place at the bar.
Give me a quick perception check.
Yes. Ooh, 23.
I think there are probably some people kind of gawking at a lizard folk up at the bar, but it honestly it seemed like mainly people who are just drinking in a bar in the middle of the day. So nobody's suspicious. Just some people that might be rude.
I get that a lot, as I said. I get that a lot.
Yeah. Nyasa, did you want to do something?
Anybody else looking interesting in this establishment?
There's your general assortment of townsfolk and miners and farmers and whatnot, but
Okay, I'll go over to them, introduce myself with a
Well,
charming
hello
smile.
there, young lady.
And I sort of sigh inwardly. Have you heard of any trouble in the town recently in the last, few weeks or something?
Trouble in White Sparrow? It's sometimes
Apart from the previous 9
seems
adventures,
like
as
there's
we've
nothing
stated.
but trouble in White Sparrow. There's bandits
Something-
attacking, or cultists, or weirdos with
Something that has not
tattoos who've
previously
shown
been
up.
recorded.
Hold on. Let me ask my friend over here. Hey, Jim, do you heard anything weird in the last few days?
well, there's all those guys with the blood drop tattoos on their
Oh
faces.
yeah, blood tattoo, face tattoos. It's
They've
a
been
choice.
asking around about the White Sparrow family. I don't know about you. I think they're up to something.
I thought
Way
there was
up.
those other guys with those tattoos. Didn't they have like a knife, like on their throat or
Yeah.
something? That was weird.
Wait, I mean, it's a personal choice, but
Sure,
just
yeah,
I
that's
just feel
fine.
like the artistic element of their tattoos was lacking.
Yeah, I mean, my day, you just got an anchor on the shoulder, and that was fine. And
Yeah.
now people just
This
feel
guy-
like gotta
Jim
keep.
pulls up his arm. He's clearly a farmer. He's got a pitchfork tattooed on his
Yep.
his arm.
Says mom.
I think
Mom is the name of his
Nyasa
cow.
is rapidly losing interest in this conversation.
Mm.
And is thinking that we should possibly go to the house of the
Jim and his friends seem to be getting into a very heated argument about hay.
I think we need to consider: do we recognize the knife throat tattoo?
Mm-hmm. And I would
Yeah.
also like to sort of mosey on over, pretending to be very interested in these gentlemen, and
And I'll-
ask where they've seen these people with these artistically lacking tattoos.
Oh, coming and
well,
going.
we were talking about hay versus straw. What were you asking about?
Sorry, you said you saw some people with some bad-looking scars. Tattoos. They could be scars. Where did you see these people, and when did you see them last?
Oh, they've been around. There was I think there were 2 of them in here this morning with the eye drop, asking about White Sparrow stuff.
They
Yeah.
won't be back.
They were asking, I think something
Wow.
about when his tax collection happen.
Yeah, and what route does the tax collector take? It's very specific stuff. I don't know. I pay my taxes through the mail.
I might suggest in future that you don't give out such personal financial details to
Well,
random
it's
strangers.
not like it's a secret. The tax collector comes down with his bell, ringing it. Tax collection time. I mean, it's hard to miss.
I'm proud to pay my taxes. It's patriotic.
Yeah, that's how we get our goods and services in White Sparrow. It takes care of everybody in the community.
Yeah.
And where did you last see the men with the knife tattoos on their throat?
That was a couple of days ago.
I think were we out in the field playing horseshoes? Is that what it was, Jim?
Yeah. I was winning as is usual, and they
Yes,
came
as
by.
if.
They seemed
Did
rude.
they ask any weird questions or any questions at all?
They did not seem to understand the game of horseshoes. That seemed peculiar. I think they asked about that White Sparrow kid. What's his name? Penguin?
Penguin, yeah.
Yeah. Asking if we'd seen him.
No, Pennant. It's Pennant.
Pennant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. And do you know anything about this kid?
He's a brat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Painted our
he met
friend's cow purple.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We heard about that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Old Farmer Gablek, he one purple cow is weird. I mean, just got to paint the rest of the cows to match. It's the only answer.
Did you consider
I still
washing the
disagree
cow?
with you on that one.
Oh, don't look at me. It was his cows.
Okay. Did it come out with purple milk or blueberry flavor or something?
Don't be ridiculous. Chocolate milk.
Just checking. All right.
All the cows in White Sparrow produce.
But I would tell you,
Just one.
I think pretty much, we're not supposed to talk about it. Lord White Sparrow was very insistent that we kind of, Farmer Gablek, keep it on the down low. I mean, he told us we're old friends, obviously.
Look, this is just farmer talk, farmer to farmer. I'm assuming you're just like a fancy farmer.
Yeah, definitely.
You didn't hear from us.
You didn't hear from us. But
if anybody asks, I haven't heard anything.
That's right.
I appreciate it.
Mum's a word.
Says so on your shoulder.
And a cow.
All right.
Now, are there any of these blood drop assassin type people in this tavern at this
give
time?
a quick check around.
yes,
That would be a very easy perception check.
Oh, it's very high. Hold on.
Very high.
It is 21.
All right. Briar, you scan the room thoughtfully with intensity, looking around you. You know, there's some kind of shady looking folks, maybe some people. It's like, why don't you have a day job? People, it's like, what are you doing in the tavern today? But there does not seem to be any tattoos in sight. And as you're just kind of giving everybody a very intense look for, like, are you an assassin or a thief or a scoundrel or a mercenary? And honestly, by far the most disreputable, intimidating folks in the bar are you and your recent acquaintances.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I get that a lot.
I don't.
If you can't find the unscrupulous murderer, it may be you.
Yeah, I have scruples.
If you can't find the scrupulous murderer, it may be you.
The Scrupulous
that's it.
Murderer is like a good mystery novel.
Briar, Tanala, anything else you'd like to do?
I'm gonna buy these farmers a drink. As thank you for their wonderful information sharing.
They're very enthusiastic about that.
Okay, there we go.
You're a real farm people.
Yeah, I figure a little bit of goodwill's not gonna hurt long term.
Yep.
I feel we should go and talk to some people with an education.
Whoa.
Wow.
I don't say that out loud.
Don't you?
No, we do a secret conversation in Elvish to confirm
Yes.
that.
I speak Elvish, I'll have you know. I went to 5 years of White Sparrow Community College. I studied Elvish literature.
Jim,
Let me interest you in a school for
abroad.
sorcery, and I hand him a flyer.
Oh, well, thanks. I've been considering
Transfer credits accepted.
Yeah, adult continuing education.
Yeah, some of our spells might actually be helpful in the fields.
Oh.
Perhaps some other forms of milk.
Strawberry.
Also, we have a very cool campus. It's a giant skull fortress
That's
under new management.
That's something. You should put that
The
right
old
on the front of the
management was
man.
very bad.
Front of the pamphlet.
It is also on the sweatshirt you can buy at the school store.
Are these sweatshirts warm?
They are fleece.
Does your school have a mascot yet, or is that
Or a
later
motto?
Yeah.
We are still working on the details.
Okay, you're full marketing.
Is it a very fuzzy
Rolling
cat
out.
by any chance?
All right,
That is under
so,
consideration.
you have a chance to reconvene and share the various bits of information that you have gleaned from your merciless interrogation of people who are just in a bar in the middle of the day.
Productive people.
What is next, friends?
I think we should go to the Vanderwent house.
Yes. And I think we should
I would
turn
agree
on the our high class charm for this
Yeah.
one.
I'm going to stand in the back for this one.
All right.
Everybody
Do you
get
have
your monocles out.
I'm actually pretty charismatic, but also a lizard. So
Hey, I feel like you're doing okay. I think the people of White Sparrow, they've had kind of an uneasy alliance with the lizard folk, but
yeah,
it's relatively peaceful. And if anything, I feel like they're honestly just like, like we're a small little town. We can't afford to chase away new customers.
So many
Like,
adventurers.
We need to
coming in
make
and
a
out.
good impression
Right,
with
that's
this
true.
lizard folk, and then like new
we
lizard folk
are
are gonna come
practically
to our
neighbors.
restaurant.
We're
yeah.
off in the swamp, but we are practically neighbors.
And they've had so
Yeah,
many
I mean, I feel
adventurers
like-
come through of all different sorts
All right.
that they feel.
Okay.
I feel like they are a very enlightened.
All right, then
village.
this is
Yeah.
not as worried, and she is very charismatic. So
I mean, they're
feel,
probably super racist against goblins, but
I'm going to turn up the
They are
dial
terrible.
on my fashion
Glamour.
armor to level 2.
All
So I'm looking
Blinding.
extra
Yeah.
fashiony.
extra
Too much
glitter.
fancy.
yeah, that's just you glow up one more level.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
double check to make sure that there's no like holes from sparks in my dress.
You are making the rest of us look bad.
And
I try to rub the blood off of my chainmail.
I think there's
We
a hose
stand at
pipe
the back.
outside.
You've now just got
Yes.
red tinted
There's a hose pipe
chainmail.
outside the tavern. You can just hose that off. It'll come right out.
Yeah.
I should have packed a second cloak.
Or at least a reversible cloak. That'll level 3. You'll get that.
Oh, this is reversible, but the inside is a garish material I do not choose to reveal in public.
Interesting. All right. So it is literally just a short walk to the Vanderwent house. It's clearly one of the nicer houses, certainly much bigger houses than usual here in White Sparrow. It's a large 2-story house that shows excellent crafting, quiet decorum, and abundant money. There are, I love it when they describe tiles. Tiles of blue stained shale cover the well-made roof. Statues of nobility flank a large oaken front door. There's a when you ring the bell, a servant ushers you into an opulent front entry hall. And the head of the household, Celestia Vanderwent, appears to greet you.
I would like to curtsy.
And so you do.
Hello and welcome to my humble abode. How may I be of service to you? I am Celestia Vanderwent. My husband Giles is around here somewhere, but he's always wandering about doing his little hobbies.
Well, in case it is helpful to the lies that you were about to tell, players, it is clear that the Vanderwent family is some kind of merchant family who has made significant profits in the trade, importing and exporting of exotic goods and whatnot. So, James, continue.
We are here on the behest of Lord White Sparrow.
Oh
Not
yes,
to lie.
Marlin, very good friend of ours.
I'm afraid to say this, but I think your son may have been in some trouble.
Slight scrape.
And we were wondering if we could have a word with him. He's not in any serious problems, so long as he cooperates. But we would just like a quick word with him. If that's okay with you.
Are you looking for Randall, or are you looking for Gerald? Or no, you couldn't mean Ian, could you? Ian's.
Yes, it was indeed Ian.
What kind of trouble?
I don't want to worry you about anything. It's just with Lord White Sparrow's nephew. The two of them are good friends.
Lord White Sparrow's nephew may have gotten Ian in some sort of trouble. We are very concerned about Ian and would like to talk to him. And
we think that this was accidental, and we would just like to make sure everything's okay.
I can't imagine Penn getting him into any trouble. They are the closest of friends, always looking out for each other.
There may have been a misunderstanding of some sort. We do not know, but we are concerned there have been injuries in the village.
Injuries? You aren't suggesting that Ian would hurt anyone, are you?
Oh, no,
not at all. We are concerned for Ian's safety.
There's almost no chance of him being assassinated.
What? Assassinated? What? What could possibly...
As I said, we'd just like a small chat with him. You don't need to worry about anything.
I don't know what to...
We're here to help protect him.
Ian, come down here this instant.
There we go.
A door opens at the top of the stairs, and a surly 13-year-old bounds down the stairs much too loudly. Kind of stomps, shuffles over to his mother, and avoids looking up, making eye contact with any of you. What's going on?
Well, these people are here, and they say that there's been some injuries in the village, and something to do with you and Pennon. Have you? What's going on? What haven't you told me?
Mom, I haven't seen Pennon in days. He's grounded.
Well, there must be some mistake. Clearly, you can see that he is fine. There is no worry of.
Would it be possible to talk to Ian alone, just to make sure?
I think we there's too many people. We don't want to.
But there are too many. Perhaps you should leave. We were doing just fine before you came in.
Lord White Sparrow sent us. We really must. This is the
yes.
safety
we
of the
really
village
must
is at stake.
Insist.
I suppose. I suppose that's well. You know what? I will go find Giles, and you may have a moment alone with Ian, and we will be right back, and we will all settle this matter once and for all. Giles, and she wanders off, calling for her husband.
I would just like to just wander around and close the doors and potentially put something in front of them that would just slow down entry should she return. No,
Are you blocking the doors in her own house?
You are
closing them.
I'm just closing things, slowing down re-entry, potentially.
Yeah.
It
All
is
right.
the entry hall of a big fancy house, so there are a lot of doors into this.
And this means that I also get a quick
hallway.
chance to have a look into each room as I close.
But you do kind of a quick circuit to kind of close door, at least to give you a little bit of acoustic privacy, if not to seal yourselves in here. The house is very, very fancy. You look into a fancy sitting room, a fancy dining room. It does seem like there are a good number of servants about. So even if you kind of close off this room, you are not going to be kind of completely concealed or far away from others present in this house. Ian kind of stands there, kind of sulking.
Yeah. All right, kid.
Right.
What do you want?
I think that Nis maybe should talk to Ian. I'm just thinking Lizard might get through.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. That I get that a lot. Listen, you and your friend may be in great danger. There are roving assassins that are harming the White Sparrow family. What can you tell us of the last time that you spoke with your friend? And what have you been up to lately that might have angered someone? We are not here to punish you, but we are very concerned that you may have unwittingly angered someone who is trying to harm White Sparrow and your friend's family.
Sounds like that's a persuasion check, Nis.
If I lie a little, can it be deception?
No.
Okay, can I help with the persuasion, please?
Yeah. I think we are all pretty persuasive.
And I'll say something to be helpful in the context of persuading.
I think I'm just like sort of idly playing with a dagger.
That's not persuasion.
Persuasion.
That's intimidation.
I'm juggling, which makes me seem very endearing.
Okay.
17.
All right.
I'm sorry, you came into a house, you knocked his stuff in front of doors, and then you started juggling? What? Have you been to people's houses before?
I've already got Nias's daggers.
Yeah, roll confusion.
Adventurers continue to not know how to talk to anyone. A staple of Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listeners, let me just remind you, when you're engaged in a social situation, there's a variety of things you could do. You could be deceptive, you could be intimidating, you could be persuasive. It's customary to ignore any of those things and just insist that whatever you're doing is whichever one of those your character sheet says you are better at.
Yep.
So
my instincts just say put a knife to this kid's throat, but I'm sort of holding back on that. Let's try the carrot first.
You hold a carrot to his throat?
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, the last time that Pennant and I were hanging out, we were out at night, and I don't know, I saw some other kids. They were probably farmers, and they were doing something to the temple. It wasn't us, man.
How do I feel about that being true?
You can always roll insight.
And I'm going to help with that, please.
All right, then you're being given advantage whenever someone's helping you.
Then it's a 23.
Jason, how do you feel about teenagers?
I feel about them like J. Jonah Jameson feels about them, which is there's always teenagers ruining everything.
Threat or menace?
This teenager seems to be lying to you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a temple, and they did something to it.
Whose temple is this, and what did you do?
Did the other people?
Are you being persuasive, or have you switched to intimidation?
I have switched to intimidation.
All right.
So anyone want to help? Lean in and look menacing.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I'm
Suddenly, four adventurers are crowded around. Yeah, four adventurers crowding around a teenager who should not have been left alone with those people. Do not let your children be questioned by the police or adventurers without a guardian present.
We are the adventuring police.
That is legal advice, free legal advice here for you.
Somewhere up in the house, you can hear Celestia saying, "Giles, put down the sword and come downstairs and talk to your son."
That's a 20, not a natural 20.
Okay. good. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, it was me and Pennon. It was us. We defiled the temple. We didn't think we'd get caught.
Which temple?
The Temple of Light.
What did you do to it?
Sparrow. I mean, like, okay, well, I tipped a statue over and a soul plate, but it was Pennon who peed in the thing.
Okay.
Teenagers.
And you said the pen is grounded.
Yeah.
How do you know he's grounded?
That's what his dad said. He hasn't come out in days.
Do you know where he is?
I mean, I think he's in the house, the manor house.
Where do you two usually hang out?
Wherever we want. It's our town, stranger.
Where do you like to hang out? Said menacingly with intimidation.
I don't know. A tavern, fields. Sometimes we paint cows. What's it to you?
I'm just gonna give a very mean look.
What do I can I make any connections between the Temple of Light and the assassins? Does that make any sense at all?
I feel free to roll some kind of check on that.
Religion?
History or religion?
This is good at religion.
Yeah,
and
roll
rolled a 20.
I would think that the Temple of Light is basically the only house of worship in White Sparrow. The Temple of Light is kind of one of your somewhat generic, not quite non-denominational, but generic houses of worship for things that are good and holy. It seems like there would be really no connecting of the dots between the Temple of Light and their worshippers and an assassin. It is, the temple is, I think, kind of heavily elven in construction and symbolism. But yeah, there's nothing that would.
Okay.
Those feel very at odds with each other.
So here, okay, I'm going to do something now. And friends, go with me on this. And I look over at Nyasa especially, and I'm like, give a little wink, which is like one of those little nictating eyelids goes, and then the regular wink. It's a complex. It's a lizard folk wink.
Yep, multi-part.
And I lower my voice a little bit, and I say to the kid, "Listen, you got to let us know about this this scam that you guys are running involving the Gloom. The elves are really mad." And I look over at Nyasa. I'm like, "What's going on with your buddy? Your buddy's really stepped into it now. So it's a complete lie."
What's a Gloom?
All right.
It was worth a go.
Excuse me, I can't help but notice you're talking to my son.
A kind of a middle-aged man has appeared. He has a very elaborate mustache and a monocle, and seems to be dressed as if he is perhaps on his way to some kind of naval battle.
I am Giles Van Went, and this is my house. How can I help you?
I'd like to curtsy again.
Yeah.
Why not?
You can curtsy. I'm not going to curtsy.
Ian, go to your room.
You have a very fine boy, and we will give our leave of you because we have no more need of any more information.
We are concerned that the White Sparrow boy may be a bad influence on your son.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I will thank you to leave my business to myself, so perhaps you can make yourselves scarce and leave before I am forced to call my house guards.
Ian kind of sulks out of the room, up the stairs to presumably his chambers upstairs in the manor.
I think we've got our next clue.
Yes.
I don't think we need anything more from these people.
I also call your house guards. Hello, guards. And now I'll leave, guards. Goodbye.
That's very confusing. I'll thank you to leave immediately.
And I will welcome it. You are welcome.
All right, you are seeing...
They always expect lizard folk to say crazy stuff like that. Don't worry about it.
Lizards be crazy, man.
Giles waits impatiently as you
then they underestimate me.
Head out the door. There's a servant, kind of a footman, who's stationed by the door, who gives the door a pretty enthusiastic clang shut as you make your way through. You are now standing in the street of White Sparrow, outside the Vanderwent house. You see, that you catch a quick look from Ian glaring down at you from a window on the second story. And then he disappears from view.
I
I
think we should
appreciate
go
the
to the temple.
enthusiasm that they used to close that door. We should go to the temple, yes.
Yeah, let's go to the
Yes.
temple.
To the temple.
Okay. All right.
Check out that statue and the thing that he peed in.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't like a Freaky Friday
Teenage
thing where he
boy.
switched his soul with the other one or something, and it's all just very confusing now.
All right. You make your way just about one house down the street when you hear a scream coming from behind you.
This sounds suspiciously like a teenage boy who's trying to act tough and failing miserably.
It sounds like the mother of a teenage boy crying out in shock and horror.
Oh,
I think we should run back
Go
and slam
back?
open the door and
Yes.
run.
Should we go back?
Let's go back.
You run back. The front door of the Vanderwent house hangs open, as clearly the footman has run inside as well. You hear the sound of footsteps tromping up the stairs above you. You follow them up to the second floor. There are several footmen, and Celestia and Giles Vanderwent are standing there, looking through an open door into Ian's room, where Ian lies dead on the floor.
He's dead.
Who has killed Ian Vanderwent? Who will kill our adventurers? What is the deal with this temple that has been so recently defiled? Where is one Pennon White Sparrow, and will you live to see him? Many questions are yet to be answered here in the town of White Sparrow. For answers to some of these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. The end.
I think we've all
For
got a good
now.
alibi.
Yeah.
You were the last
Just
people
got thrown
seen
out
in
of
the
the
house.
Couldn't have been us.
yeah.
That's called motive.
Also,
So-
Jason,
Look,
I
I
really
didn't-
think
Alibi.
Jason, I think you missed an opportunity to make Nis a wizard and therefore the lizard wizard. I really feel like
Lizard Kings.
Except
Wow.
I think he should
Okay.
be the lizard wizard.
Well, the
Lizard Wizard School.
The School of Sorcery has a name, but it's named after its founders, Nis and her brother. So it's the Business School.
Oh.
Mm.
I do. Is perhaps their mascot a lizard wizard? The fighting lizard wizards?
Yeah, it might be Cool Cat and Pascal actually,
no.
because they're the ones who saved the day. I think in that adventure,
Dressed as wizards?
it's a cat and a panda.
I actually have art of Pascal dressed as a wizard, so
What?
Of course you do.
Wow.
I need this in my
course you do.
life. Is
Mm.
that Peacock art?
yeah.
yes. It's a Dice by Peacock sticker.
We just need him to do. That's David Lanham, right? We just
Yeah.
need him to do a Cool Cat.
Yeah.
He shouldn't do that. No, that would be bad.
We do have art for Top Hat Junior and Watches.
Watches. Yeah.
Two of our favorite local goblins.
Yeah. I miss Watches. Watches was fun.
Yeah, there's some
Things-
good.
I think
there's some good art.
Watches might come back, but I think not in White
He ran
Sparrow.
away,
I think-
right?
Yeah,
He
I
did.
think he went to the big city. He's in Waterdeep, which is where a future adventure will be set. So,
Nice.
yeah, maybe things are good or really tragic for Watches. We don't know. So,
Let's
well,
stop your recording.
yeah, feel free to stop your recording, live stream / bootleg. Thank you for listening. We plan to be back next week with a 5th adventurer who will join our party.
Yes, Lisa can
Things
bail
will
us
happen.
out of jail.
Yeah,
She's a cleric, so good choice.
yeah.
Goodbye, live stream.
Bye, live stream.
Bye.